Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, wherever you happen to be. Welcome to another edition of the Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. The scene is set within the Memento Mori pack house, actually. We go ahead and see Alan poring over the core rulebook of Lycanthrope, the Rapture, trying to learn all the different little rules, schisms of the tail spinner system, making notes to himself. He's currently planning a campaign, actually. The campaign set in, he doesn't know yet. Iceland is always good. The European continent could be interesting. Or he could just go for something a little bit more local. Maybe Montreal. Who knows? What's up? Hi.
Anthony's just
I was
throwing
pointing particularly to a page about how to do some obscure or breed that is in no way should be allowed in the book. No!
Oh, come on, it would be awesome. We totally need to play this.
No, 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 no. No goddamn cockroaches, okay?
Oh, come on.
We're
If you're
playing
allowing...
lycanthropes. We're playing
If you're...
lycanthropes,
No, no,
not
no, no.
disease monsters.
Wait a second. If you are allowing Seek to play a were-mantis, why I cannot fucking play a were-cockroach?
Because where cockroaches are broken, it's specifically stated in the rules that they cannot die.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. Um... Oh, can I play a were-mosquito?
Where must... No! Wait,
Oh, come on!
maybe. No. I got it. Are you willing to play a mad scientist?
Yes.
Have you ever seen the movie The Fly?
I'm totally playing a werefly.
There you go. And Alan's phone will actually begin to beep at him and sort of ring. He goes ahead and takes his cell phone out, looks at the time. Oh, it's that time already. Hold on 1 second. Guys, I think I need the room. I'm going to be making a long-distance call to somebody.
When you say somebody one long distance, what do you mean?
I mean, I'm going to be talking to one of the people in Africa, actually.
Oh, you say we are going to talk to them. Cool. I need to see if I need to punch them with one hammer or two hammers after they come back.
Oh, I'm sure they're doing just fine. I'm sure that nothing has gone wrong. I'm sure they've found a good place to bed down.
They,
And I'm
they,
sure they've got a
they
good
have
damn lead
Kachina
on.
with them.
Oh yeah, they got Katina. Nothing's gonna go wrong. Nothing could
No.
ever go wrong around Katina.
No, of course not. It's Kachina. It's Werewolf Jesus.
Yeah, of course. Hold on 1 second. Alan is gonna go ahead and take a strip of a cloth. Go ahead and wrap it around his eyes, and well, he seems to be in a rather meditative stance. Or maybe he's just trying to dress up this little trick for shits and giggles. As wits empathy, which is about 3 wits, 4 empathy, 7 dice, rolling. Nope.
Yep. Antonio is just throwing D10s on Alan's forehead.
Ow! Stop doing that! Jesus fucking no! Psst. Okay, let me try this again.
You need to focus, little Foster. And he keeps throwing D10s.
Did you just stop that? Damn it! Fine.
The moment in which you avoid a D10 while blindfolding your eyes, that's the moment in which you're a fool, Garou. D10 to the face.
That's a little better. 1, 2 successes as that D10 goes ahead and pings across Alan's brow, and in a moment, in an instant, he is fucking gone.
Okay. I want to learn how to do that.
He's still right fucking there. He's just not mentally there. Damn.
I know. It's like I keep bothering him and nothing is happening. Why is this happening?
Antonio,
Yes,
make me a sandwich, extra ham.
we don't have any more ham. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I give it all to Kotori.
Where's Katori? We must go find Katori.
No, we need to do something with this asshole here. And he points to the lump body of Alan.
Question. Have you ever been to one of the Hamid summer camps?
No.
Okay. Is there a pool nearby?
No. Why?
I was gonna put his bed underneath the pool and put him on it.
That would kill him.
No, he wouldn't drown immediately.
Question. You feel the familiar ping of Alan's presence inside your head. Please don't do that.
It's like, well, we would do it if we had a darn pool.
Why did you went limp like the other night with Leah? Oh!
Blink. I'm trying to make a long distance fucking call. You're distracting me. As where is Grins currently?
It would be nighttime here, right? Is when you guys are making the port in.
Yep.
Let's see here, they made landfall at night. Last I knew, because we weren't exactly given room and board, he's out in the middle of the Congo probably taking a dirt nap because God knows he needs sleep. Oh God.
What are you currently dreaming of?
Strangling two paths to death.
Ah, that's a nice recurrent dream Antonio shared.
Okay, fair enough. You find yourself in the fairly hot prairie lands of the Congo. You find yourself in your great strength looking at Two-Path, his pathetic two-faced, too-fast type thing, betraying his cultural lineage of the Gita Fenrir and the Black Furies. But he's you so small, so very, very small, as you're clasping your hand, your big-ass Kranos hands, your breed form hands over his throat, squeezing and squeezing and squeezing as
while yelling, "Why won't you shut up?"
Alan will pop into this particular scene quite unnoticed, as he's going to go ahead and spend a willpower point to make this a conference call.
Beep.
Antonio, Snow, you're now in the particular prairie lands of the Congo, watching the scene unfold.
Yes, do it.
Antonio looks at Alan and goes like, why am I dreaming of Green killing Two-Path? It's normally me killing Two-Path and being dancing around. Where are we? Why it looks like Africa? Are we in Africa?
Antonio, calm your tits.
Okay.
Shush the both of you. Alan is in his particular hippie guard. He has the rose-tinted glasses. He's gonna walk over to Grins in his Quino form and just put a hand on his shoulder and say, "Tell me your woes, son. Tell me your woes."
Which Grins is taken completely by surprise about, because he's too busy with doing what makes him feel a lot better right now.
Do it.
And he just kind of lets him go, and it's just that moment of, woo!
Antonio just rolls in, looks at Green. Allow me, Cap. Go over, and he grabs Two-Path. Why don't you shut up?
The dream form of Antonio and the chimerical creation of Two-Path is going to go ahead and get strangled over there. Alan is going to go ahead and turn to Grin and simply say, This is Silver Tongue. We're calling from the Sept of the Green. How does your adventure go?
Okay. Those facial motions that I made, he makes, and then just like, okay, I suppose.
Ellen, is there such a thing as lag on the mind webs?
Not, well, sometimes. Sometimes it takes a while for spirits to go ahead and, well, translocate perceptions. I don't know. It's usually a lot calmer and quicker than this. Grins, what is going on? Why are you currently dreaming of murdering your brother?
Because he
He's a
almost
very
got us
horrible figure.
killed.
Okay. This is what I would like you to do, Grins. I'd like you to start the story from the beginning.
Okay, so like when we came here and the moon bridge went up and blew up under us pretty much. Well, blew up's the wrong word. Like snapped from where it was grounded in Africa and came and hit us all in the face and knocked us off.
Ouch. Who is responsible for the bridge?
And he pauses and thinks how to explain this because he hasn't told you about his friend yet. Friend. Brian had been directed to speak with an Ananasi, and she was responsible for making the bridge.
Okay.
Now, he wouldn't use the term Ananasi. He only has crew or two. He's a were-spider. But, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Apparently, where spiders make terrible bridge makers. Okay, I'll go ahead and store the information for later. So the were spider goes ahead and screws up the bridge. You guys are
she landed it, but it just couldn't hold long enough for us to get all the way there.
Who all did you take with you?
Brian, obviously. Moonface, myself, Seeker, Two Pass, and
Kachina.
Wait.
yes, Kachina.
I'd like to imagine that as you're saying each name, a representation of that image just pops into the dream, and suddenly we're like circled around these different characters.
Yeah.
So explain it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when he says me, since he's like trying to like give you a visual from what he saw, there will be a duplicate of him, I would think, because he's also telling the story, but he's also part of the story. So.
Actually, just a few feet away from this little gathering is the scene as it was. You guys have just been deposited from the moon bridge that has gone ahead and snapped. What happens
so
next?
we all got knocked out cold. I don't know how long we were laying there. It was a while, but I think I was one of the last to come through because Brian and them seemed to have come through, and I can't remember who all was awake. It was still kind of a mess. I had no idea if we had made it or not, or how far in, or where we were, so I was standing next to a body of water. So I went, dipped my hand in to take a drink of the water to see if we were on the coast and it was salty, or inland and it was, normal.
And instantly there is a body of water just across the way, with Dream Grins dipping his hands.
And I take a drink of it, and then that's when the fun got started. As a gator comes up and pulls me down.
No. The gator is about 2 stories tall because in your memory you were the closest to it. And it was the biggest fucking thing in the world. So it just rises up from the water 2 feet, clamps on you, and starts to drag you down. Oh God!
And luckily, everyone had fast reflexes, and they jumped onto them. It took another chomp at my leg before it decided to try and do a barrel roll. Kachina held it in place, and then it decided to give up on the effort, let me go, because it was getting the shit kicked out of it, and when it decided to pull back, everyone decided to let it go, and since it wasn't anything too damaging, I was able to recover from it.
Question, quick OOC question. Was this the point that Kachina got hurt?
I think no. The part where he got hurt was when the bridge gave out. All of us got hit by strands of the bridge, and for out of character for aggravated damage.
Okay, what I'd like to briefly go ahead and put up is above this particular scene, since you're sort of remembering that particular hiccup, we're all seeing Kachina Christ go ahead and get collapsed underneath the bridge. It's like,
You see Antonio going to his knees and weeping slowly for the fate of the nation.
Yeah, he got up just fine, and I think he was healed, but I can't remember exactly. But the rest of us weren't damaged too much to where we felt that it was necessary for us to expend vital resources at that time.
Mm-hmm.
It was after that we realized we had company. As I was regenerating my wounds, there was quite a gathering of hyenas, lots of them.
Out in the horizon, there is the familiar laughter of hyenas as they go ahead and start to trample the scene, start to circle all the dream aspects around, and the Antonio, this grins, Snow, and Alan is just watching from afar.
It's at this point that Kachina tries to speak out to them and explain why we're here, and that we're very sorry that we may have crash-landed and violated your territory. That was not our intent. At that point, a sphere with its tip on fire was chucked out at him.
Heathens! How they attack Kachina Christ?
Clearly as an attempt to see if it would startle him, because it landed right between his legs and he was unflinching.
Okay.
And
that's normally Kachina for you, Antonio. Not.
That's when one of them, I assume one of those hyena shifters in their war form, I'm not entirely sure, came out to speak with Kachina.
Do tell.
He started to try and get the situation.
As Snow has apparently taken upon himself to use Chimera's gift to change his form into that of a hyena.
By the way, Antonio is recording everything in his eidetic memory.
It was at that point that they had a brief conversation, and it moved to Brian explaining why we all were here and that we were looking for a kinfolk. I don't remember when Kachina parted, but he seemed to have taken about other things. I'm not sure what it was. Character the player had to leave.
Yes. Over at the Dream Interpretations, there is like
as it becomes a kind of ethical. Well, I wouldn't call it ethical. I guess a pragmatic argument over whether us should be wasting our resources on this shithole continent going after one kinfolk. And Brian explaining that this kinfolk means everything to him, and that's why we're here. And that
one needs to agree with the word hyenas. Just saying. And Antonio says this unflinchingly.
At this point in particular adventure, they had already sacrificed so much and gone so far to be turned away. Well, it would be greatly disheartening.
So it seemed, in their opinion, to try and get us to turn back and leave their lands alone and not go after this. And Brian was very, I wouldn't say forceful, but very unyielding in his opinion that we should be here, especially since, as Alan Ryan brings up, that we had already came here. What was the point in turning back now? And that we all came here of our own volition, knowing maybe not fully the risk, but with some idea of what we were doing.
Hey guys, not to interrupt the story, but do you there's a bit of Hobbit media that I think is coming into play right now, and as he's trying to say this, suddenly everything has the shade of gray and black, like of New York City, but not of the New York City that they come from, but a different New York City. One from the
You went ahead and made this monochrome, didn't you?
maybe a little bit.
Lol.
There's still splashes of color here and there. There's just not a lot of color. Whereas what seems to be a group of people in a red vest are coming across people in a green shirt. And on the green shirt there's the name Orphans.
Blink,
And
blink, blink.
Red
This is the
vest.
Warriors!
Yeah.
Antonio looks at Alan and realizes, I was actually expecting, were hyenas, people in danger, be prepared, sounding in the background. You're kind of disappointing me.
No. This is a fucking cult classic. No. Those are the Warriors. That's a gang that's trying to trek across the entirety of New York City.
I know. Antonio,
I'm walking over to you, Antonio, and say, I'm trying to explain it to those of us who might not know. So
we are old enough to know here.
Friends, do you know the story?
No.
There you
God
go.
damn it, Grant.
Shut up, Antonio. Look, these guys, pointing at the guys with the red on them, are called the Warriors. They're a group of gangbangers just trying to cross the street from the Bronx to Coney Island. This, pointing at all the jackasses with green, are the Orphans. It's a bigger gang. They're full of shit fighters, but they've got the numbers. And the Warriors, points to the red guys, are currently in their territory, points at the Orphans.
Right.
This is why it's happening, because it's a goddamn conflict.
Okay. He keeps looking at Green.
I think I get it. Okay.
Dissolve.
Yep, and it all dissolves.
It's at this point, and I can't exactly pinpoint what caused it, but Brian, I think, got a little too long-winded, and so the were-hyena with the flat of his, scythe or something, it was some spear-like thing or another, slaps him really hard, and sends him about, I'd say, a good 40, 50 feet into a nearby tree.
He was trailing the savannah then.
Ouch!
At which point, Brian frenzies.
Here's how it appears in the dream. The were-hyena goes ahead and approaches the dream figure of Brian. The hit goes ahead and comes, and it goes ahead and trails across the horizon so
hits him in the
far
face.
that it skips the horizon and comes back the other side.
So we have a person in Africa who has now joined the Let's Punch Brian in the Face Club.
I didn't know that was an actual club.
I've made it a club now because I've watched it happen too many times.
I'm an official member.
Yes, he is. And so is Travis. And so is gosh, I can't remember her name. I don't know why. Anywho, not important right now.
I like to think that this half-formed female figure is coming into the existence and then gets shushed away.
with Black Fury Purebreed too, and then just kind of goes away. I like to cover for the fact that I have horrible memory with names with people that Grin's just is really shitty at remembering.
Continue on with the story.
So he
frenzies, and the hyena goes out and meets him. They have a fight, at which point one of the others in their group well, I should back it up a little bit. She clearly states that no one, either her side or our side, should get involved with this. She's going to handle it. So she goes out to meet him, and they start having a fight when apparently one of them flips shit after about 9 seconds of this going on, because Brian's actually holding his own despite having the shit kicked out of him just a few seconds ago. So one of the shifters flips out and frenzies, like hardcore thrall frenzies, because Brian's drawing blood and doing some pretty serious blows.
Well, what did they expect? It was a fight.
This one seemed to be a bit of a hothead, and started shifting and took the form of what looked to be a lizard of some sort.
As Godzilla starts to appear in the dream scene.
That's when I've decided that shit has gotten a little out of hand. And
Godzilla.
so
Godzilla.
I pull out the harmony flute and put this all to rest.
Alright, the dream figure of Grins goes ahead and pulls out a flute, and wonderful, wonderful music starts to flow all around the Amazon. Or not the Amazon,
Amazon.
Wrong fucking continent.
Yeah. After everyone's mellowed out and we've taken this back to having a civil conversation, it's then that I take note that the only person currently in Krynos is Two Paths. So I nudge him and I say, that's not necessary any longer. There's no threat. We're having a civil discussion. That's not necessary.
Okay.
To which he ignores me. I'm like, okay. I'm fairly used to being ignored at this point. Brian and them start to talk again, and I get a little bit more wrapped up as they continue to speak on the same subject that they had been, that I at first didn't notice it, but Two Paths starts talking in a derogatory fashion, trying to agitate the lizard shifter. I don't know why. I'm going to think it has something to do with that mingling problem of his ego. But he starts nudging at him, and I tell him to stop. That's not why we're here. Stop it. Shut up. To which he tells me, no, he won't.
Oh my.
I have.
So, Two Paths, and Antonio's just putting a hand on his cheek and looking at Green. Keep going.
To which I think this is the first time in the whole month I've been here that I've raised my voice, and I unload that he will shut the fuck up now. The only people that are talking are Brian and her, no one else. And it's at that point that that Moonface backs me, and finally Two Paths falls silent.
Here's what I like to imagine. While this particular scene is being described, the dream form of Grins, the dream form of Moonface, is having an argument with the much taller Krynos form Two Paths. And as they go ahead and shout him down, the Two Paths dream form gets smaller and smaller and smaller until eventually the Grins dream form goes ahead and starts strangling the motherfucker. All over again.
Antonio will look at Green. Do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
You probably have noticed that Two Paths had a rifle.
Yeah,
Yes.
let them complete the story. Then we can
Yeah,
judge.
we'll get to that.
Complete the story.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I will dispense justice later.
I appreciate it. I'll pat Antonio on the shoulder. it's at this point that they finally come to an agreement. They still think our idea and our plan is fucking stupid, and rightfully so, but it works with what they're going to do. They have had a problem with these hunters as well that are here. So they, I guess, expect us to go in hot and heavy trying to do this. It's not what I would suggest personally. But they want us to catch bullets for them, basically, and start a ruckus so they can come in and ass rape the back door.
Okay, so basically all of these shifters have gone ahead and kicked your ass around a little bit. You've gone ahead and, ran your mouth off a little bit too much, but y'all have come to an agreement that if you guys go ahead and run Facebook and become a huge fuck-off distraction for the hunters, they'll sneak around back and actually do all the murdering.
Yeah.
This is a terrible fucking plan for us.
Oh, I know.
No, this is what I'd be advocating for, but in reverse.
This is
Well,
why
when you have the numbers to enforce that, then yeah, you get to call shots.
No, I don't. No. I'm clapping the hyenas. This is a brilliant tactic.
At that point, it seems like things had at least mellowed down to the point where, it's settled. We're not going to have any more problems. So we started getting things settled for the night. In fact, there was like a brief bit of camaraderie as Brian shares his flask around and then loses it to the lizard shifter and gets a little, I think, more collapses a little bit, I guess would be a good way to put it. He seems to be fighting something. That flask is something that is near to him, and we had to restrain him from trying to retrieve it. But he collected himself.
The scene goes ahead and plays out as the lizard shifter goes ahead and quite cruelly takes the flask from Brian. Brian's fist goes to the ground, and his voice goes ahead and raises up to the sky.
Yeah, because that is what happened. Pretty much.
The ground will actually shake underneath these four Garu. Because it's a fucking dream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And aside for some other small talk, that was pretty much the evening. I mean, if you want to call Two Pats cleaning his gun eventful.
No. You said Two Pats gun. You have a problem in your syntax there. It's Green's gun. And
Oh,
he
is
just
it?
said the message. It fucking is.
Okay.
You
I
tell
didn't
him
even
that
want him to bring it in
that.
to be honest, I didn't even want him to bring it in the first place because I thought we were going to do a smash and grab, and that gun is a sniper rifle. It's fucking noisy as shit. You don't bring a gun to well, you bring a gun to a smash and grab, but you bring like a pistol. You don't bring a fuck off.
50, yeah, no, you don't.
Antonio, you might want to make this official. Use all the fancy titles and the like.
Very well, very well. And then you see that in the dream, a strap on Antonio appears with all his fancy titles.
Motherfucker, two of those are in Spanish.
Yes, it's everything in Spanish. And he goes, oh, fuck me.
I think I can get a few of those because Grins actually has French.
But it a little bit and everything translates to English. Like little letters fall and others replace them. Okay. I, Antonio, laughs at the weird face, foster of the bone knowers of the set of the green, yada yada yada. Murderer of the aspect of the storm, yada yada yada. Keeper of the armory, yada yada yada. Fuck Two Pats, you take the gun.
Very formal indeed. Grins a chuckle.
Very well then.
It's done. And the little
So it's-
trap
it's-
disappears.
I have a
He's
feeling
done.
that there's
This-
some
History
this-
here, Antonio. Why don't
this-
you play out the scene a bit?
Is this the thing that he was talking about having annoyed Travis about?
Yes.
That does jog my memory then.
And I'd like to think there's a shift from the African savannah to the steppe of the green. I mean, with the aforementioned Tupass, the Warden, Travis, his, and Antonio, in a very, very not heated, but more of a office meeting kind of air and feel.
Yeah,
So I'm requisitioning something.
in which in one moment everyone there clearly says, see the copy of Antonio saying, if you broke something or if you lose something, I'm going to grab Frozen hammers and I'm going to shove it up your rectum.
I think I have the perfect way of dealing with this. And he just kind of grins. Hey,
both Antonios look at
the minute you say it's broken or anything, he just gets this beautiful and elongated grin across his face.
Both
and there's
Antonio
a bunch of
looks at
smoke
each other.
around grins and smoke, and all we see is a very, very toothy grin smile.
I like to think it's Cheshire Cat style.
There we go.
It's a dream.
Very well. How is your company? How is the party? Are they doing well? Spirits high?
Pessimistic but hopeful.
Okay, how about my tribe mate?
Both are doing well. Aside from my injuries, and those seem to have recovered mostly. None of us have been seriously injured. And we seem to find a mutual agreement on something, and that's hating two paths.
If I haven't told you the story about Andre Takamundi, the Shadow Lord, do remind me when you come back into the set.
I will appreciate hearing this story.
And then on the horizon, there seems to be a rising thunderstorm. No, we're not talking about you. Go away.
And how is Seekers?
He's mostly quiet for the most of it. I think it's hard to tell. I think he's been mostly keeping to Brian and trying to make sure he doesn't do anything too stupid. And to his credit, he hasn't done anything too overtly stupid. Aside from that one instance when he maybe got a little long-winded, he's been well. And so I don't think there has been much need for Seekers to get too involved. And he seems to, I guess, like it that way.
Okay, fair enough. His talents may be more useful later in the adventure. And I know, we all have particular, well, prejudices against, rightly so or not, against Two-Path, but I still need to account for him. How is he doing?
Paranoid would be a good word.
Paranoid is a good place to be.
He, fair enough. He doesn't seem to trust anything about this group. I tend to agree that they are not our allies, but he seems to think that they are enemies as well, and that is worrisome.
Snow, you can speak better about being a stranger in a strange land?
I guess you could put it that way. I don't think he understands that. He seems to understand the power that they have, and that they could blink him out in a minute. And the only response that he knows to that is to try and prove that he's that as well.
It's like, this is not the place of ... concrete and steel of Hamed had capsation. And Snow says as a It's a picture of Rikers Island just pops into the scene.
Okay.
You may need to explain that one a little bit more.
Survival technique proves you're the most crazy motherfucker in the joint. You won't fuck with you. Prove that that it will cost them too much to come after you. Yo.
That's the problem that I've tried to, I think, maybe not, I guess I've not done it clearly enough, is that if they were enemies, I'll cede to him the point that they're not allies. If they were enemies and they wanted us legitimately dead, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. None of us would.
Yeah, there would be a knife across your throat right now. There isn't a knife across your throat right now, is there?
I don't. Damn it. I can't tell.
In the physical plane, there is a few birds that seem to chirp across your form, but no bladed weapon, apparently.
I don't think he understands that. I think that's one of the chief problems.
Okay. Here's another way to survive, Snow says, as he's dismissing the fucking Rikers Island. Be useful, he says. And he kind of brings out what looks to be like a hatchet or a pistol or a fang-toothed dagger. Be useful to someone, and they will keep you around longer than they ought to. That is the second way to do this. And by this ridiculously foolish plan you guys have, or at least the Hyena's brilliant plan to use these strangers, you shall be able to survive a bit.
That and they.
No, he's a crazy motherfucker.
That and there seems to be, I guess, a quiet admiration. I don't know if the rest of the party seem to notice it, but it seems like they admire the principle on which we fight, even if they find it hopeless and idiotic. There's some sort of admiration that at least we're trying.
Go
that they
back
were
and
once.
Describe the main speaker to me. Describe her.
You know, surprisingly, what I've been told about Africa, and most people are dark-skinned persuasion, she was quite fair-skinned. Not, I wouldn't say pale like I am from having been in the Rockies and little sunlight during the winter, but she was quite clearly white with blonde hair.
The Dutch woman goes ahead and manifests in front of the group.
Yes, that is exactly what he's trying to get at.
Okay, just describe her for me.
She,
You know, I've known a few Dutch people in my days.
and he'll roughly, you know, describe her outfit as this kind of like, I guess, army surplus sort of outfit. She's very gruff, pessimistic, but what's a good word for it? I would say probably the most level-headed of the group. I think the reason why she leads them is because she has a good sense of what can be accomplished with what resources she has, and at the same time, a cool handling of situations.
And this is the one that sent you on the suicide mission.
Yes.
Snow rightly goes ahead and examines her as quite the genius. Make use of these strangers that want to seem useful. Okay. How close are you to...
I jump on it.
I know you would, Snow. I know. How close are you to actually finding Brian's lost kin?
Nowhere yet. My plan was as soon as we landed was to use Rite of the Questing Stone, but we haven't had time to do any sort of thing. They seem to know where this hunter fortification is, or this hunter holdout in the middle of the Congo. So I think soon enough we will find out where this place is.
And I have one question for you guys.
Mhm.
How do you plan to extract the kinfolk?
I would have to see how this place is laid out first. Depending on how the defenses are set up or if they have any guards or anything, which I assume they will, and how they're set up and whatever. I was hoping either Blur and once inside the place.
When I mean extract, Green, I mean extract out of the continent itself.
Oh, out of the country? That is a great question that has, I think, yet to be discussed.
Yeah,
That's a great question.
Grins, you and all your fellows are Garu. You are in a place that's full of wild energy without nary a weaver eye anywhere. This is not complicated. But
I figured we might be hoofing it for a while, but I think coming back will have to be mostly mundane means.
Do you have the cash?
From my understanding, Moonface has stated that she brought some, but I don't know if anyone else has.
Antonio looks at Alan.
what? What was the question? I lost it.
If anyone had brought any resources, and I know, I said I know Moonface has, and I think I put down on there that I had taken petty cash, so not a whole lot. So other than that, I don't know if anyone else has.
This is the fucking Congo. The Congo Republic has their own denominations that change on a decade basis.
Yeah, what Antonio will start to explain, because he's a smart Garu, and he's a rat fucking thick. He'll go like, okay, but do you plan to stow yourself aboard the ship, try to catch an airplane, avoid the Congo militia that's trying to kill every fucking one, and so on and so forth?
You know, I will be glad to relay that to you when that matter comes to the head of the rest of the people here in our group.
Would you do me one favor?
Who is this woman? Alan says, pointing at the Dutch woman.
What specifically?
Her name.
Oh. Player covering by saying that Grids doesn't know because he doesn't remember.
Okay. This is the woman that apparently knows what the fuck is going on. This is the woman that might be able to give you a good smuggling route out of the country for your kinfolk. That means you're going to have to be working with her a little bit longer if she will have you. If not, well then you got to do this.
I think that'll be complicated because I don't know if we seem to have expended
hospitality.
By even getting this far, especially when her lizard shifter friend is none too keen about us at all.
Well, then, fuck.
Okay. Basically, when you have a kinfolk, you do this. You get to the nearest trade route, like when the tankers and everything goes on.
Then you pay some smugglers and hope they're legitimate. And
No,
don't
you don't pay the smuggler. The smuggler always fuck you over. I know, I have been a smuggler.
Antonio, really? Human trafficking?
Yeah. Why?
I'm not fucking shut about that one.
I'm a bone knower. I do what needs to be done. Basically, you stow yourself inside a ship. You hide yourself between the refugees or whatever. You put your king to work. You put yourself to work inside. No one has nothing. And when you are near the shore-ish, you contact someone around the set, and we try to smuggle you off
Or you could
before
jump ship
passing.
and swim the last few legs. Or you could
Um,
shift to the Umbra and just walk the last few legs.
and the king.
Okay. I think your best bet is to try to find one of the wanderers of the nation. If you can find one of the wanderers of the nations, one of the striders, beg and plead to him to help you out.
Oh yeah, he would be able to smuggle you off Africa.
You might
Isn't
not
Africa
get the
close
kin.
to Egypt?
Here's the thing. You might not get the kin all the way back to New York, but at least you'll get him safe.
In one go. Yeah.
Probably he will probably be straining Europe for a while.
Hey, Europe is awesome.
Europe isn't that bad.
Europe is awesome.
We don't yes, no, Europe is awesome. I'm very stressed now. Antonio put his head over Alan's shoulder. I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, well, when we wake up, this nightmare ends. When he wakes up, points at grins, the nightmare begins.
It begins. I knew where you were going with that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saving my bit.
So, is there anything else you wish to go ahead and experience before the terrible, terrible burning Daystar takes you away?
If I get any bright ideas for field trips, because I feel I'll be helpful, slap me in the face.
Okay, I take the word.
Here's a compass. Dream Allen produces a dream compass for you. Where does it point? Home. When you look at the dial says really, really fucking far away.
Right. And meanwhile, Snow has Adornment looks like to be really dressed actually, as he's trying to transform a little bit of himself to a more feminine persuasion. As he looks very genuinely upon Grin, says, "Farewell, good hunter. May you find your worth in the waking world."
I'm glad I'm not the only character that communicates in pop culture references.
And Antonio, as they are disappearing, Antonio just goes, "May the odds be ever in your favor, Clea."
Don't die. As Snow and Antonio go ahead and reaffirm their mortal coil, as well as Alan goes ahead and wraps his do-rag off his fucking face, points at the book, and says, "It's a difficulty of goddamn 9. Difficulty of goddamn 9. How is that balanced?"
You simply roll for it, goddammit! You can spend some effort points.
You can't spend effort points on everything. You can't spend effort points to hit. You can't spend effort points to go ahead and activate karma. That's bullshit.
Okay. Then you simply
Guys,
jump on them.
Can you get the pizza already?
Yeah, sure.
See, yeah, we should call Zeke. He needs to eat sometimes.
Yeah. By the way, guys, what do you think about being not so secretive about the pack house?
What?
I mean, like inviting people over.
Invite people over we think can run with us.
Okay. What do you think about grins?
Oh, I'm totally okay with him. I want him with us.
He has creative dreams.
He has a made snow.
Okay. What about Leah bringing people over?
No.
Like what kind of people?
I don't know, like people.
No.
Like
We will need a clarification on people, like species, breeding, that shit.
No. Okay. Here's my limit. Can I jump on it? Yes or no?
No.
I prefer you not jump on any house guests that she brings over.
Fine. As long as okay. As long as they're not our enemies. Verbally, if they're not our enemies. Hopefully, they're not our enemies.
Antonio looks at Alan. If anything is a Bay Bridge, I'm bringing you to Frozen Hammer.
Yeah, that being said, there is a lot of things here, he says, pointing at diplomacy on the wall, that would reach the veil pretty damn hard.
Well, yes, this is why we only live here.
What about people of the Sept?
Oh, people of the Sept are okay.
Okay, I got a feeling she doesn't have a lot of friends over at the Sept. We might think about making different living arrangements.
We could go to the cardboard box.
No, we're not going to the Cardboard Palace. And no offense against you, Antonio, or your people, but I like a bit of independence. This is why we're out here, and we're not in the Sept. We're not hunkering down like all the other goddamn Cleus.
Then what do you propose? You propose to move again?
We could move to a bigger place.
We don't have the cash. Wait, I'm working more in the radio. I should ask for a raise.
Think about it. We might get a little bit cramped here.
Nick has his room. You have your room. I sleep in my room, and Snow.
I will
Snow
eat you
sleeps
because
in the
you know where I
back here.
sleep.
In any case, we can talk more about it a bit later. There's not really one particular solution to this problem, unfortunately.
Agreed.
The scene goes ahead and ends at the Memento Mori pack house. However, Grins, describe the agonizing pain of sleeping on the ground, waking up.
It's not too agonizing, I suppose. I mean, he did live in the Rockies for a while, but bed's definitely better than dirt and rocks. There's probably some sore spots around, having slept on the open ground as opposed to a nice warm bed, but yeah, you could do worse.
He could do worse. As
It's
the
definitely
bird
hot as balls, though. Fuck the sun in Africa.
Fuck the sun in Africa. As the burning day star goes ahead and starts to plot around the horizon, bringing another day for our party in Africa. Good night! Or good morning, everybody.